Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany and today I am bringing you this Glam Swamp Monster tutorial. I am so pumped, so let's just jump into this. The first thing you want to do is prep your skin. I'm going with moisturizer, especially around my nose and just any areas I'm a little bit drier. And then we're going to block out our eyebrows. So I just go in with a glue stick, wipe it through my eyebrows, looking fabulous, and then take a spoolie through it, just brushing those hairs in like a upward motion because we want to flatten them out. Then I'm taking a very high coverage concealer and blocking out my brows that way. Then taking the orange shade from the NYX color correcting palette, I am using that to kind of cancel out that bluish hue that my eyebrows have. Then I went in with a foundation just like you normally would, and now it's time for the fun stuff. So the first thing you want to do with this look is to sketch everything out. That's just going to make everything a lot easier. For me, what I did first was sketch out all the green areas using the eye pencil from NYX in the shade Emerald City. So I sketched everything out and then I would kind of blur the edges just so they weren't so intense. Then I'm doing the exact same thing with all the brown areas using the eye pencil from NYX in the shade Brown. Once I'm happy with that shape, I'm taking the jumbo eye pencil in the shade Dark Brown from NYX and I'm using that to deepen up the brown areas. Then I'm blending that out with my finger. I'm going in with the Tame and Frame brow pomade in the shade Espresso to really sharpen all of that up. Now I'm using the Suede matte lip liner in the shade Orange County underneath my eyes and on my eyelid. We're also going to use the NYX jumbo eye pencil in the shade Milk in my waterline, also to highlight the high points of my brow bone, and really using that in the inner corner. We are going to do a pretty dramatic eye with this. Basically, my vision for the entire look is I wanted to take features from different creatures that you would find in a swamp to combine into one. So crocodiles, snakes, fish, birds. I took features from each of those animals so I could create the ultimate Glam Swamp Monster. So going back to my eyes, that's why I have everything super slanted. That's why I'm faking my inner corner down lower. I am creating the illusion that my eyes are a lot bigger than they actually are, and they're also going to look a lot more intense, kind of like a snake eye or like a bird's eye. Once I've done that, it's time to set all of this in place. So I'm taking various NYX eyeshadows to do so. Side note, if any eyeshadow runs down where you don't want it, just take a beauty sponge like I just did and just kind of wipe that away. It'll also chisel out your cheeks a little bit more. My best friend for this was the NYX Ultimate Palette, the Brights palette that they have. I used the dark green and the deeper orange shade in that palette to set the green and the orange, and then I used the contour kit, the deepest shade they have in that palette, to set all of the brown. I set the rest of my face with their translucent HD setting powder. Now we are going to make some scales. A variety. We're going to have some fish scales, some crocodile scales, and snake scales. I just want to have a nice little mixture, you know? So I'm taking a green cream paint and I'm just dotting that onto the stockings, being very careful not to move those around at all. I want to keep them in place. Once I go in with the green, I'm going back in with the shades from the Ultimate NYX palette. I have a light green and a darker green just to add some variety in there that I'm setting all that down with. Then I'm using the brow pomade in the shade Espresso to do all the brown, and then I use the darkest shade from the contour kit to set all of that. Doing that gave me a guideline for these next steps, so now I'm taking just this brown liquid liner and I'm filling in a lot of that empty space on my forehead and shaping up each of the scales more like little diamonds, kind of like we're dealing with like snake scales. I got excited and skipped around, but now I'm taking the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick. Yes, you heard me right, it is a lipstick in the shade Orange County. I'm using a small angled brush to really exaggerate the shape of the eyes and to give a little bit more pigment. You can see even on the brown how that orange just really stands out. Then I took a green eyeliner pencil to round out the green scales just a little bit. To add some variance on my forehead and down my nose, I used the slim eye pencil from NYX in the shade Auburn. I used this lighter brown eye pencil instead of another one just because I have a little bit of a warmth to it. So it complemented the orange in the eyes really nicely, helping the look just flow. With each step, I'm going to do this a few times. I take that Milk Jumbo eye pencil to make sure that our white stays really nice and bright. And of course, you do not want that to go anywhere, so you're going to set it with the Whipped Cream single eyeshadow from NYX. That is the face done for now. Do not worry, we are coming back to it. Remember, everything we just did is a template for the awesomeness that is to come. So don't worry if it is not absolutely perfect, because I promise you it will come together. So now moving on to my neck and chest, I took green body paint, took it down the center of my neck, all over my chest. Then I'm taking a black to chisel out my neck and sculpt out my shoulders. This is going to make my neck look a lot thinner and longer. If you don't have a wig, definitely make sure to run these cream paints through your hair as well, and then block out your ears. And if you have a nose scratch, just use a spoolie. Our swamp monster needs some gelatin in her life, so make sure you test that on the back of your wrist first before you apply it on your body, because this stuff does get very, very hot. First, I just kind of sketched out a rough idea of where I'm wanting this to go. Use the plastic spoon to get the first bit on there. This stuff does cool down pretty quickly, so you will need to put it back in the microwave. To make it look more realistic, just take a cuticle pusher with some product and run it along the edges. Start tearing some wounds in there, tearing your hair out in the process, and then powder all of that down so it does not budge. Our slimy swamp wound needs some glam, so we're taking the NYX glitter primer directly on our skin, and then we're packing this craft glitter. I have 3 different shades of green that I'm using for the actual wounds, and for our skin I'm using this black craft glitter, and I'm dusting that all over the place, also making sure that I dust some of the green on there as well. Doing that just makes it look like our wounds are oozing green glitter, which I feel like is just very fitting for a swamp monster who's also glamorous. Guys, we get to glitterify the rest of our face. Is glitterify a word? I don't know, but it is now. After you have packed a light green glitter on each of our individual scales, go in with that brow pomade we used earlier to define each of them. If any of that glitter falls where you don't want it, just brush it away with a big fluffy brush. And then it's going to be a back and forth. You're going to pack on a bunch of glitter everywhere in those green areas, go back and define them until you're happy with the results. I'm just going to do the exact same thing on my cheeks now, but I'm keeping those more separate. Even though we're using the same colors, the ones on our cheeks are going to be more like fish scales, while the ones on our heads are going to be more like snake and crocodile scales. After shaping up the bottom of the scales using that Emerald City eyeliner, I'm dotting the center of each scale with this gold eyeliner from NYX. A lot of fish and reptiles have these little dots on their scales, plus it just adds another layer of dimension. Now I'm doing these little like scoop motions on my cheeks with that brown liquid liner to make little fish scales, and then I'm keeping it more triangular on my forehead in the green. After creating those shapes, I will go in with the 3 different glitters that we are using, and I will just dust them all over the scales. For the brown glitter, I'm using the NYX Face and Body glitter in the shade Bronze, and just pretty much packing that almost everywhere. And then I'm taking this craft glitter that's more of like this coppery shade, doing that just in the select areas to add some variation. Like we've been doing, it's that give and take of defining it, adding a layer of glitter, going back in certain areas and defining it. I know it seems repetitive, but that's really what brings this look to life. For the darkest areas of the brown, I'm actually taking that black craft glitter and packing that on my brow bone, but then I'm dusting it into that white so everything really fades together. If the glitter goes somewhere you don't want it, just spoolie it away and brighten it back up with that Milk Jumbo eye pencil. After we set our lids one more time, we are taking the copper face and body glitter from NYX, and we're popping that right on the center of our eyelids and right underneath, just to make our eyes pop even more. To draw even more attention to your eyes, go ahead, curl your lashes, do a coat of mascara on the top and bottom of your lashes, and then we're gonna apply some falsies on the top and bottom. Super fun. A couple of quick life hacks for falsies. Make sure that you bend the band of the false lash first. That's going to make it a lot easier to apply. Then life hack number 2, don't be afraid to cut the lash if it's a little bit too big for your eye. In honor of birds you would find in a swamp, I decided to use these feathery lashes on top and then these wispy lashes on the bottom, and it just made the look even more intense. For my hair, I curled it, teased it, I added some random braids. I have a French braid going along my side shave, which I thought was kind of cool and kind of reptilian. I also have a nice little poof going on right on top. After running that green and black body paint all down my arms, it's time to finish the mouth. So I used that dark brown pencil on my top lip and then the Emerald City pencil on my bottom lip. I then dusted that light green craft glitter all over my chin and used the exact same technique that I used on my cheeks, just on a more precise mini scale. Get it? Scale. Because scales. That's not even really a joke, because that was dumb, I'm sorry. I saved my mouth area as the very last thing that I did just because I needed to eat before I did all of this, so feel free to do this earlier on. After we blend out some edges, I'm going to pop that copper glitter from NYX right on the center of my lips. Now I'm taking glitter glue and I'm packing that on my side shave, and then all of the glitter is going on my side shave. I'm also just dusting all of the glitter pretty much everywhere on my hair, and I'm dousing myself in hairspray, and then as you see, more glitter. The finishing touch, moss. Yeah, that's right, real moss. We mean business on this channel. This was the perfect finishing touch for everything. It was like the nice little bow. So I just tangled some of the moss in my hair. I used bobby pins on areas where I wanted to be a little bit more precise, like where the braids were and everything. I was able to just tuck a big chunk of the moss behind my ear, and then I used lash glue on my shoulder to keep it secure. Just get as crazy and creative as you want with the hair, because I feel like this is where our Swamp Monster really came to life. Cover your hands in some black cream body paint and black glitter, and we are done. I feel like I just threw so much at y'all, and I am so sorry. I know that was a lot, but if you've made it this far, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. I could not be more proud of it and thankful that I'm getting to do this. I had a lot of fun coming up with this idea, and it was a really cool project to actually see come to life. So once again, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, definitely make sure to do so. Have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!